All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Talk 122. I am your superintendent, Dr. Terrell Yarbrough. And you may notice this is a little bit different than how we normally do things. I thought we could go behind the scenes with HNN a little bit and just see how a lot of the news stories come together, those type of things. And so if you can introduce yourself to the audience, that would be great.
Hi, I am Tony Garza. I am a senior here at Harlem. I am class of 2023, and I am a 2-year Harlem News Network student.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that. And so, tell me when you started to think about HNN and wanted to be involved in HNN, what sparked your interest?
Well, I was in sophomore year at the time, and that was the time of COVID, and me and all my friends were online doing online school, and we were talking a lot over like video calls and stuff. And we had a friend who was in it back when we were freshmen, and he was a senior, and he told us about the class, and he said it was really fun, but you had to have like a friend group to do it with
Okay.
because it helps a lot along the way. And we all were just like, you know what, it's our junior year, we might as well have something fun to do while in our junior year. So we all signed up for it, and we all got the class a few months later, and yeah, that's how like kind of how like I got into like the spark and everything.
Okay.
It was kind of interesting to like think about like all of us like kind of making our own stuff and showing
Mhm.
who we are.
Okay. All right. That's cool, and I really like that. And when you said, like showing everyone like who you are, right?
Yeah.
And so I would imagine that with the student population, student body, that you kind of get requests sometimes as far
Yeah.
as like what they would like to see and things of that nature. And so, tell me a little bit about that. Like, take us behind the curtain a little bit of how episodes, ideas come together, things like that.
So when I was in Media Studies 1, which is like the one that makes a show, usually, ideas come around. You can either get them from the teacher,
Okay.
which is like usually like a request from like the higher people in the schooling,
Okay.
or you can make your own. You can make your own ideas and pitch them to the teacher. And if they're good enough, you can start storyboarding them, which is like planning them out, getting the shots, the descriptions of everything,
Okay.
and that's like how you can make your own stuff. But there's also like we also have like a box out in the commons that you can
Okay.
get ideas from also that like people who aren't in the class can
Right.
pitch. And I myself haven't really used it because I'm always doing something else. But if people ever want to do like come up with an idea and
Mhm.
send it out to like the people who do the show, it's always like free in the commons to like show.
Okay. No, that's good. Thank you for that. And I forgot that box has been out
Yeah.
there for a little while, right? And so again, getting back to like, taking everybody kind of like behind the scenes a little bit, right? Because we always see the finished product, which
Yeah.
ends up being really good, right? And those things. And so um, when you think about the software and things that are used to put together an episode, tell us a little bit about that.
So we use our main software we use is Adobe Premiere.
Okay.
It's what we do to like compile all the clips together, make sure the sound's right, make sure because sometimes when you record, the color doesn't always come out correct on
Okay.
the camera. So when you upload it, you have to go in Adobe Premiere and correct it and everything. And it's really just to like really it's like fine polishing like the clips and stuff to make sure
Mhm.
that they're all set and like ready. And then you can compile them all together, cut them. You can add effects onto it,
Okay.
but some people also use this thing called After Effects, which is more for like really like heavy editing and stuff like that. It's really for like sculpting and coming up with cool effects and stuff.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but mostly those two are what we use, and sometimes Photoshop if we come up with graphics and stuff that we just wanted to like, throw into like an informational like feature about like maybe like a basketball game or something.
Okay. All right. No, that's cool. And so thank you for all of that. So would you say that someone like myself, who I have no knowledge to
Yeah.
do any of what you had just explained, like how easy would it be for me, or not even easy, like what would be the process for me to like pick it up and to learn?
Well, like I think it all like matters. Like if like you're, I think it's easier if you're interested in it at
Okay.
first. But when I first like signed up for it, I think like the hardest part really was cameras for me
Okay.
because like you think it looks good on the camera,
Yeah.
but like once you upload it, it doesn't really look the greatest at first. But I'd say like out of 10, probably like a 6. I'd say because like it does take a lot of patience. I'll give you that. Sometimes stuff might not always go to plan. You might have to make like certain turnarounds and stuff
Okay.
like that. But I think if you're interested in doing it, cameras can be easily picked up if you give it enough time. And like softwares like Premiere and After Effects, yeah, they can look kind of intimidating at first, but once you have like your teacher help you, or you look up a couple videos, like the basics of it will come naturally as you start doing it more.
Okay.
So I feel like it's really just if you are like interested, it comes easier.
Gotcha. And we have a couple people obviously recording us now and going through the process, and they're really pros with like sound. Talk to me a little bit about like the sound and what goes into making the sound just right.
Okay, so for like the beginning class, a lot of people just use camera audio, which it does the job, but when you're out in like a loud hallway or a loud area such as the commons and stuff like that, it can be kind of distorted and you might not be able to hear like the main focal point, which would be like a person talking or something. So we have certain equipment such as the thing we're using now, which is a boom arm.
Okay.
And it helps with like single arm, like shots like this where we're just talking, trying to get 2 people. And we also have these little things called lavs, which you attach to people.
Okay.
And like you can do like walk and talk features like that, like going around asking people. But once like everything gets like done and you like have it all, you upload it to a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like you always want to make sure you record on the camera and the whatever like audio device you're using, so you can sync it up later and it becomes easier.
Okay.
But in Premiere, it will show you on the side like what parts of the video peaks or not. Mm-hmm. And you want to make sure that like it doesn't go above a certain threshold, because if it does, it can like kind of like blow out speakers and stuff. So you want to make sure that all sounds good, and you can put on like certain effects to make it sound better.
All right, definitely don't want to blow out speakers.
No.
So, having a little fun right now. Your favorite like HNN episode that either you put together or one of your peers?
I think my favorite HNN episode. That's kind of hard. I think our Halloween one last year was pretty good. We had a bunch of creative features. I worked on a couple, but not only just because like I worked on it. Mm-hmm. I think it was just like a fun, like something like students needed. Like I feel like with school and everything, some people get stressed, and having like a more uplifting type of episode like that really helps with anxiety and stress. Okay. And maybe it is a little bit because like I worked on it and like it was fun filming, but I think all around for us being new to like this whole kind of like field and stuff like that, we did really good.
Okay. No, that's cool. So with that particular episode, from like start to finish, how long did you remember it took to put it all together?
So one of my friends, we did like a trick-or-treating in Harlem where we like there was like a skit where we go around knocking on like teachers' doors in costumes and stuff. That one took quite a while because with so many people like filming and like acting in it, you had to find certain schedules that would work for people. You'd have to find the costumes that when the teachers can be there or not. So like that one took about like a month. Okay. I'd say about a month. But it came out pretty good for being one of our first features that we put out together. Right. And it got a lot of good what would I say? There's a lot of good things said about it.
Okay, perfect. And as everyone knows, this is live, so we're gonna keep going even with the videos. And so, what I would like for you to do a little bit of, and again, you're taking us behind, the scenes, right? I always see the openings of when it started and the anchors to talk. So teach me real quick, for the audience, and let's like do a real quick opening.
All right. So the first thing we say before like the intro comes in, we say, "What's up, Harlem?" I'll say my name, so I'm Tony. I'm Tony Garza, and then you'll say your name. Okay. And then all together we'll say, "This is HNN."
All right. So let's do this.
Okay. So on 3, we'll both say, "What's up, Harlem?" Okay. I'll say my name, your name, and then we'll both say, "And this is HNN."
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. What's up, Harlem? I'm Tony Garza.
I'm Dr. Terrell Yarbrough.
And this is HNN.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right. So I'm sure the high school knows who you are, but for the audience who may not, can you tell them a little bit about yourself and why you were interested in being a part of HNN?
I'm Jazmyn Austin. I'm a senior here, and I was interested in doing HNN because my friends are twos and they did it last year, and I seen everything that they got to do.
Okay.
And they told me it was a lot of hard work, and I honestly was scared that I wasn't going to have the motivation, but I've been doing really well.
Gotcha. And it's hard for me to believe that you were scared because I had attended obviously a meeting recently because you're a part of what the leadership
The
cabinet,
Principal's Advisory
principal
Council.
advisories cabinet, and I was from that meeting. I got the impression that you're a bit of a celebrity, right, when it comes to HNN and videos. So can you tell the audience a little bit about the video that you put together and why it seemed like everyone really enjoyed it? So.
I put together a video called Harlem Against Racism.
Okay.
It was basically sharing stories of students who experienced racism at school, as well as a few staff members talked about why it's important that we aren't experiencing racism at school. It took me a long time to put together from late October to honestly a couple weeks ago. And um, I think a lot of people enjoyed it because it showed a really good side of Harlem as well as sharing the bad stories and giving people their own voice to talk about what needs to be talked about.
I love that. Love it. I love that one. You obviously pursued a segment like that, and you put it together, and from what I've heard, did a really good job. With it. So
Thank
thank you for that. In thinking about a little bit of the questions I had asked your peer before, like when you were thinking about getting into HNN and obviously, that process, what did that look like for you? Like contacting teachers, like how did that look?
When I said I want to be in the
Yeah,
class.
like when you said you wanted to be in the class, or even developing that love to want to do it.
So I wasn't even in the class when the school year first started. I joined a few days in because I was like, you know what? Even if I feel unmotivated sometimes, I know I'll get it together.
Okay.
But I've honestly been doing great.
Okay.
And the love for it really started around Christmas time
Hmm.
because I had a lot to do with that show. And that's when I figured out that I could do it and I could have fun doing it and that I like doing it.
Perfect. So thank you for that. So when you think about like your experience being a part of HNN, and I've seen, some very serious segments and some ones that made us laugh, right? And so, what are your favorites? Like other than your own, what are your favorite episodes that you've
Um,
seen that either made you laugh and was like, you know what, that really educated me on a topic?
the anxiety feature was honestly really good. It was just, I
Uh,
feel like a lot of people needed to see that
uh-huh.
and that it meant a lot to the people who made it.
Yeah, that meant. I mean, when I saw that, that was a really powerful one. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So what about one that kind of like made you just laugh and just you couldn't stop laughing?
Um, I really like the Christmas caroling one when they were walking around houses. That one
Okay.
made me laugh.
Oh man, I should have been a part of that one. I would have loved to to walk around. Yeah, went to actual houses and was singing.
I wasn't part of it, but yeah, they went
Ha ha
to.
ha.
I don't know if they were strangers or if they knew the people, but yeah, they were going to houses.
That could have been. Oh, I need to next time that happens. I need to know about that one so I can kind of participate. That's kind of cool. All right, and so final because I don't want to take you too many questions, but like the whole HNN experience and for the students and people out in the community because they see the finished product when you think about behind the scenes, what's one or two things that you want people to know about, like from the production piece to bringing all of that together for what people see.
Honestly, I would want people to know that it might look like really easy home videos,
Hmm.
but we spend a lot of time in the classroom after school,
Okay.
during lunch, during advisory, working on them to make sure that they're how we want them to be.
Okay, I would imagine on weekends too sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes we come in on Saturdays.
Okay. Okay.
It is honestly, even when it's a lot of pressure to make sure that it's right,
Hmm.
it's fun to be able to know that you're pushing yourself and that you're meeting your own expectations or exceeding them.
Okay.
And yeah, I just think it's really rewarding.
Perfect. So for me being in my position, right, and seeing how all of this comes together and what's being used to even bring it together, what would you suggest is needed to take this to even a bigger level than what it already is? What would you say?
A lot of time and effort, and not oh, what's the word? I can't think of the word that I want to say, but just not being lazy, like not, you have to want to do it and you have to follow through. You can't just say that you have an idea. You have to put the time and the effort into it.
Okay. All right. I think your teachers would want you to say too that maybe a brand new studio or something, but we'll just leave that there. So, but thank you for your time. Thank you for taking us behind the scenes, with your perspective. And again, I really appreciate it hearing about this segment that you put together. All right. So again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Talk 122 with your superintendent, Dr. Terrell Yarbrough. It's been a real pleasure to kind of get away from our normal setting and coming behind the scenes. And so hopefully we can do a few more of these in different locations. And so stay tuned for that. So as always, I am Harlem. You are Harlem. We are Harlem. Thanks for tuning in.